Does anyone need help to get this screen, or do you all have managed to have this displayed on your current laptop? Who needs help? Who managed to get this screen? Yes? So I'm doing the exercise with you. So now this is just a plain Symfony application, and you can work on it and browse it. It's a movie database. So if you didn't already do it, now I'm going to check out the SF2.7 branch. So if you are at this point on the SF2.7 branch, to get it, I don't know if you noticed, but I had to fetch it. So I did git fetch origin. Where's this? Okay, git fetch origin, this one, and then git check out the branch. So the diff I have is that I changed the font size? Yes. So this is, as you can see, this is the ape parameters.yaml file in the ape config. So these were just do random things, so these are replaced by that. I also commented the part that restrict the IP range because I'm inside, I'm hitting the virtual machine from outside, and I don't need these checks, so it just commented out. Before that, I followed the README. So the README, which is not this one, but this one. So I believe you did, the database is already here, so now I did this to create the schema, I did this, which means you don't have to put this because this is Symfony 3. So you hit this and the user is summer, and then the password is camp. So you run this and you get the data, then you run this to fill the database, and let's go. Sorry, I don't. Yes. Then when you run the server, you have to listen here. So this is one difference. Maybe I should commit this here. Let's change that. Okay, this is what you should have in your parameters.yaml file. So this one is not required. This is it. So, normally if you didn't get past this point, please ask Sasha or me, so you get the application. And when the application is working on Symfony 2.6, then you have no warnings, of course. So you have a fully working application. Now, after checking out the SF 2.7 branch, which is just, if you look at the diff between this branch, the current one, the master, only for composer, because the only thing I did is change Symfony constraints from a low to a low 2.7. Then I did a composer update, and I got the new vendor, and the new vendor is Symfony 2.7. So we have 2.7.3, and the new thing is just one level down, is this item that says that we have 6 deprecated calls here. To see the deprecations, these are the logs, but the deprecations are hidden behind this menu. So you click on the menu, and then you have the messages. So this means you have things to fix in the code. The difficulty with deprecations is that you have the message, but sometimes the message is a side effect of something you do, and you don't understand the message very well. So it's not always easy to understand the message. At least you have it. So if you have the the application working, so you notice that you have 6 notices. Let me comment out what I just did. Up. So back. No, it's not in the token. It's here. Ha ha ha. What's wrong? Okay, because I stopped. Okay. So if you look at this, I just reloaded the page. So in this case, I have 12 deprecation notices. So here we are. I won't fix them for you. And now, if I get back, I refresh. Okay. In fact, amongst the important pull requests that we are going to merge into 2.8, there is one missing pull request for now that is quite important. It's a pull request that allows to catch early deprecation notices, and we have some of them. By early deprecation notices, I mean deprecation notices that are triggered before the userland or the Symfony error handler is in place. And because we have a chicken-egg problem currently, which is that to log deprecation notices, we need a logger. And to have a logger properly configured, we need to boot the kernel, because this is where the configuration of the logger is. And of course, until the logger service is configured and plugged, we can't have deprecation notices being caught for us. So there is a way to do that. We have a pull request pending for that. And for now, they are just silent. This is why to show you how we can do that, we can catch them. I have a small patch here. So the small patch is in my web app dev. Okay, I put it here. So in this file, I just added after debug enable. So debug enable enables some wrappers for easing debugging. And I just add an error handler. So this one is taking over the Symfony one, at least for the beginning. And what I do here is that I put every error. I don't know if it's deprecation or not at this point, but since we know that we won't trigger any notice warning, anything in a normal Symfony application, we're almost sure that only deprecations will end up in this handler. So here I add lines to some log file that I just create for this. So by enabling this, I don't know if I saved the function. Okay, now it's saved. I can, okay, maybe not this one here. Let's go on this one again. So now, as you can see, I have no deprecation anymore because my error handler took over Symfony ones, or at least Symfony detected that we already plugged something, so we want users to, we don't want to overwrite user preferences, so my preference now is to have this one doing the job. And if I go to my, okay, let's open this one. If I go here, git status tells me that I have new file here, which is this web log file that we created. And here we now have, okay, a bit more deprecations. So some of them are the same again about the YAML component that doesn't handle parse methods deprecated, use the YAML contents of the file instead. So, but we may have new errors. And in this case, we don't have new errors, and there is a reason, which is that some errors happen only when booting the kernel. So that's, I'm rephrasing and repeating myself, so you can understand. So now what I do is that I remove these files. So we start with an empty log. And then back in my virtual machine, in my, okay, let's go here. So I'm in the background box. Don't do that from the outside because there are some paths that are hard to fix from when you run the application inside the VirtualBox and you clear the cache from outside the application. So I do a cache clear. So now my cache is empty. I can reload this one. Okay, restart the server before. Did I miss something? Oh. This one. Okay. So let's go here and let's look again at this one. Ha. These are really hard to catch. Okay, so there are some errors. I want to show them to you, but there is something else that prevents us from doing so. So this modification, this patch, is only for the app dev file, but when I do this cache clear, I'm clearing the cache, but I'm also warming it up. So maybe with this, then I can restart. And then we can coach new one, but do I have some? So I'm going to put my error handler into the console application so that I'm sure that all the kind of front controllers are updated to log everything. So here, let's copy paste again this one. The log file is not the same because now we're not in the web folder. But anyway, let's go with this. We have two log files now. So one is this, and the other is not existing right now. So I should restart the server. I always forget this. Okay, and so now we have log and web log. So this is log. This is the kind of errors that we missed. So this, for example, is something you have to change also. So these are service definitions, configurations that use deprecated way, and that now we have to change. And these are others. So the goal is to start with from a free cache and have these files stay empty. So let's go one by one. So what was the message saying? The twig from resource configuration key, no. Use twig form themes. Okay, this one is pretty actionable. So let's remove this one. Done. I'm doing it very iteratively so you can follow. So let's remove again these. I remove the cache again, so I'm sure I have no effects, side effects from the cache. Reloading. I did not fix these. So, factoring method in my service.xml file. Let's fix it. Okay, so here we have services with factories. I don't know if we have another one. No, this one is okay. So it's these services in the core bundle. So these are replaced by a factory tag. So I'm going to move them. So, okay, this is one more argument, attribute at least. This is going to be a tag. So factory servers, here we are. Another one is the factory method, which is an attribute. And then in the factory tag, I'm not sure this is exactly it. So let's do it for the other one. factory. Okay, it's not exactly how we should. I don't know if we have documentation about that. Let me check. In the Symfony code base, there's an easy way to check for anything you ask about Symfony. It's just asking the code. Let's go. So I'm trying, I don't remember exactly how. Okay. Maybe just that I shouldn't put that inside the tag. Okay, so here we are. Now we have one less notice. So just the diff. So we know already this one. So this is one diff on the config YAML file. And this is the diff. So we removed all these attributes and we replaced them with a tag. Let's continue. Ability to pass file names to the Symfony is deprecated and will be removed. Pass the YAML contents of the file instead. So, grep for parse in the source code. Where is this? Maybe we miss a stack trace. Where's that? I don't remember exactly what was that. Okay, let's go to the next. We'll get later on this. So as you can see, it's a trial and error process. And you can stop whenever you want, say, okay, now it's gone. So in the routing file, we use pattern, use the path option in the root definition. So let's go. So this is something else. Let's go for the routing file of the bundle. So here we are. And that's it. Still working. This is from a bundle. There is some bundle that is using YAML pass and that should be updated. So, YAML pass. I don't remember where this one is. Should get to a stack trace. It would be a lot easier. Let's go to the next one, app security. So we have app security. If you remember in the slides, I told you that now we just have a function that is called isGranted. So you can use that now. It's better. Let's go for this one. YAML pass, we'll see later. I don't remember this one. I don't remember how we do that. going to do something, which is to just log the stack trace alongside with the with the message. So I think here I can just JSON encode debug backtrace. So as you can see now, I'm doing a custom error handler to catch them, all the deprecations. This is something we are trying to remove, the need to do something custom. But this is still PHP, so you still are allowed, of course, to hack and to go beyond the tools when the tools have limitations. So now we're on 2.7, so don't hesitate to hack your file, and this is quite easy to do. So now I'm just logging the backtrace. Let's go debug backtrace, which is, I don't want, so it's debug trace ignore args, so that we don't get the argument, I think. I'm not sure. Let's check. Ignore args, okay, great. There's only one argument that we want, which is the message. Let's do it this way. So again, I have my file, and now I have the stack trace. So ability to call YAML parse. So we have our vendor, the YAML is triggering the error. Then we have the Doctrine ORM mapping driver. So this is something Doctrine should fix, or at least in the next version. Maybe we can check on Doctrine. What I'm doing now is that it's... Yes. Yes. Okay, great. It's fixed, so we just have to upgrade to next Doctrine or which isn't. Yes. Yes, because of an issue in Doctrine Debug, because of no, and they are fixing it right now. I don't know. So this is the kind of issue we can have, and we have to think as a community. It's our responsibility to help to find solution on this kind of issue, because in this case you can see that it's we have an issue, and as on our side we can't do anything but ask Doctrine or Symfony to raise the requirement version on Doctrine ORM because it's fixed there. I don't know if we put something on JSON. So here I said lower than 2.5. I don't know. I'm not sure it will work, but it's maybe unsolvable. It's likely unsolvable. So of course, when you have a question, you can do what we did not do, but we said that we should do, which is reading the upgrade file. So whenever you have a question about what I should do about this message, maybe you should check the upgrade, one of the upgrade. So for example, in this case, I have some warning about, composer is taking about, where's no, this is not what I want. Why in my file I do have this, and if I look at if I grab the upgrade file here, so I grab csurf, this is a command, I grab csurf case insensitive in any of the upgrade file, I can see that in upgrade 3, I do have something that says that I shouldn't use the option csurf provider, rename to token, csurf token generator, which might be the reason why the class csurf provider adapter is loaded. And this is also, as you can see, this message is pretty cryptic because we never directly use this. And this is also, so this is the reason why we think that one of the peer I showed you on screen is very important, which is having deprecated tags at the service definition level. Because if we instruct the service definition that the service itself is deprecated, then we can provide a useful message saying you shouldn't use this service. And you will have some, it will be much more actionable. I don't know if Composer will manage to do something. Ha. I'm a bit confused about this. I don't remember. So it's not a service. but we might have the stack trace, so wait up. Dun, dun, dun. Where's my file? I don't remember for this one. I can get it. So this is new. This one is self is a new deprecation that has been introduced in latest twig. So I didn't check how we should replace it. So let's go on Symfony. Maybe not this one, but or maybe on twig better. Do we have a blog for twig? I was still using it some Symfony. So in this case, maybe we are trying to maybe we should upgrade to Symfony 2.8 because I bet that self is used in some part of Symfony itself. Okay, and in this case, this has been removed from Symfony 2.7, which means that, okay, so this is the end of our composer story, so we can install Doctrine ORM because of some requirements. So we have to wait for Symfony and Doctrine ORM to fix the versions. So I remove this. Now I'm doing something to update to 2.8. Let's go again, composer up. This is going to take a long time. So for now, what do we have in the diff? Not much. Before. We will stop in 5 minutes. So if you have any question, if anything you want to ask, to talk about, please do so now. Okay. So I think the session is over. I thank you for attending. And as you can see, it's still a work in progress, Symfony 2.8. So we have still a lot of work to do on helping you have meaningful deprecation notices. So at least we want you to have them. We still have a lot of bundles to fix, version to resolve, but this is an ongoing process and it's a work in progress, so we hope it will be done in a few months. And now you know how it will happen. You know that Symfony 3 is not a revolution, that you should migrate step by step to 2.7 and then 2.8. At 2.8, just look carefully at the deprecation notices, look at the upgrade file, read documentation. If you need, check the source code, and this is manageable. So this is an example of, there is one deprecation notice in the log that we get about _self that is still used, but this is a pull request that has been merged quite recently, and it's not yet in a 2.7 release. So that's why we didn't have it. But this removes a few warnings that you have in your logs. So this is why I say it's ongoing. Thank you.